Can a non-Christian make a great Christian movie?
Great question. Great question. Great question. That is what we'll be talking about today in Flipfoot. So, I am Big Diesel.
And I'm Coach, and you're watching Disney Channel. Oh, wrong network. My bad.
If we get copywritten, come for you. Your pick. Anywho, today we are talking about Wake Up Dead Man.
Wake Up Dead Man.
Directed by Rian Johnson. It's on
The Netflix.
the Netflix. Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah. Starring Daniel Craig as what's his name?
Benoit Blanc.
Sure.
It's the third Benoit Blanc mystery coming after, of course, Knives Out and Glass Onion. So yeah, this is the latest installment. Got, of course, Daniel Craig.
Yeah. So for this part, we will get into kind of another spoilery section where we'll reference the first two movies and kind of do different stuff and talk about spoilers on this in this movie. But for right now, we're just going to keep it review centric and talk about that. But yeah,
for sure.
But there is just based off of us being Christians, this is more of I called it a character study. It's not a Christian movie, but it does have it just like all three of them kind of deal with different things. Like the first one was about money.
Yeah, it's about wealth, the wealth class, and
the money. The second one was more about social media influence and stuff like that,
and technology.
And the third one, this one is more about religion.
Yep. So they all deal with
themes.
Various different themes.
Yeah.
That Rian Johnson likes to explore. All themes that have been very politicized as of late.
Yeah.
For sure.
And this one, a lot of people were making a lot of comparisons for what we're dealing with right now.
Yep.
Just once you see the movie, you'll see. But,
yeah. If you haven't already seen. But yeah. So what do you feel? Well, I guess
let's
before
talk about the movie.
Yeah, we can talk about
the movie.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say before we get into the plot, we can talk about the other cast because it is a pretty stacked cast.
They're all stacked.
All cast. Yes.
All stacked cast.
Very, very, very much so. So you have, of course, like we already mentioned, Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc. He is pretty much the anchor of the series. He's like the one recurring character in every movie. He's the
main character.
The main character. Well, we'll get to that in a minute, but he's the one on the case, solving the mystery. He's been kind of compared to Hercule Poirot and all those Agatha Christie novels. Yeah. So you've got him. In this one, you've got Josh O'Connor, who plays the not priest, but Father. Well, Father Judd.
Yeah, Father Judd. Yeah.
Yes, Father Judd. You've got.
What's he from? From those who do not know.
So he's been in a lot of
movies.
Challengers. He's been in The Mastermind that also came out last year.
He's coming out in a Steven Spielberg movie.
Yep.
With Emily Blunt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Disclosure Day. That's coming out this year.
That might be really interesting. I don't know if I'm going to see it or not. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in that. He's been in La Chimera that came out a couple years ago. Yeah, he's been in a lot of movies. Also, The History of Sound that came out last year. So he's definitely been on a run. lately. So we've got him. We've got Glenn Close. Of course, everyone knows Glenn Close.
Of course.
Josh
Cruella
Brolin.
DeVille is one
Yeah.
from the 101 Dalmatians,
Mm-hmm.
since you mentioned Disney.
Yep. Yep. She's been in. She's had a very long historic career.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, should have an Oscar by now. To
I'm
be honest.
surprised she doesn't.
Yeah, she's been nominated several times, and there was even this is a little tangent. There was a time a couple years ago where they thought she would win, and then she didn't. It was a whole thing. Got Josh Brolin, of course.
Thanos.
Yeah.
And Cable.
He plays Monsignor.
He's been in a lot of stuff. He's been in a lot of stuff recently, is what I'm saying. Yeah,
He has
mostly,
been.
Yeah.
He has been. He's going on a run for sure. He's had, I feel like, several runs, but definitely lately, like he was in The Running Man. Lately, he's been in a lot. He's been in the
Dune
Dune
Part
movies,
2.
Dune
Yep.
Part 2, Weapons.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, he's going on a run for sure. Josh, well, I already mentioned him. Mila Kunis, Jeremy Renner, Kerry Washington.
Bro, with Mila Kunis, I did not realize that was her until I was like, hold up.
Yeah,
Like, it took a while for me to recognize.
yeah. So definitely a stat cast.
And
Jeffrey Wright.
And I felt like her character, I felt like she was miscast.
A lot of people have been saying that.
I felt like she was, not saying she didn't do a good job. I just felt like, yeah.
It was interesting seeing her in that role, and I wonder if it was a thing where she really wanted to be in this movie because it's like you've seen so many great actors be a part of this universe so far, and it's like, oh, I want to be a part of that, but I don't know. I feel like there was probably another role for her, maybe in a different movie or even somewhere else, but I don't know if she was miscast, but it didn't seem like this character would have been like the best for her personally. So
So who else you got? You got Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner, yeah. Kerry Washington.
Yep.
Jeffrey Wright as well.
Yeah. I would have. Because you don't come in until later.
I don't even see. You've seen it more recently than I have, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to remember even when he does.
He doesn't have a big role.
Yeah, it's pretty small. I was trying to remember why. I was like, when I was looking down the list.
And then when I saw him, I was like, why was he? Yeah, I don't know.
Thomas Hayden Church.
Sure.
Yeah, he was. If you remember, he was Sandman in Spider-Man 3 and No Way Home. That's probably the biggest thing that you would know him from.
Okay.
But yeah, so StatCast.
That's right. I knew I recognized him somewhere.
Andrew Scott. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's been in stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very.
But anywho,
cast.
I'll say this: when I watched it, thank God this was a streaming movie, which for me was a good thing because there's a pacing issue I had with this, especially in the very beginning. I get it, like you're trying to nail down the characters, and I get what they were trying to do. It just went on for a while, and I'm like, when? And what's his name doesn't even show up till the
spoiler. It's like 40, 45 minutes into the movie, and I actually like that about this one because it really is Josh O'Connor's character. It's basically his movie,
right?
Pretty much. Even like for that first 40 minutes, it's his movie, and even when Daniel Craig shows up, it's kind of like
it is
two-hander sort of.
Mm-hmm. It is his movie, but this kind of deals with where it's interesting with the detective with his character. It's mostly he has one job.
Yeah.
He comes in when the person's already dead, and he comes in to solve the murder, suss everybody out, and then deliver the conclusion.
Mhm.
This kind of peels back the curtain a little bit on him and his kind of religious views. Which
Okay.
I don't know if you ever seen the other ones. The the guy with the mustache, his movies.
Oh, I haven't seen those.
Okay.
The Death on the Nile and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Orient
yeah.
Express.
So for some reason I don't know why this is. I know they're books, but why are they always, kind of they really don't have a belief, if that's.
Okay.
They're very skeptical when it comes to religion. Is that because they're detectives and they're supposed to know how to figure things out? Or?
I think to that, as a detective, you're supposed to question a lot of things, or at least that's how those type of characters are framed. Is they're supposed to question, evidence, or they're supposed to question just things at face value. Like somebody's being told something, well, it's like, no, I need the evidence in order to confirm if this is true or not. Like I need hard proof, and I think when you get to faith in the thing that this movie is kind of exploring, even outside of the actual murder, it's like what where is the evidence leading, and like is my faith being challenged in a way that's going to lead me further into my faith, or is it going to lead me away from it based on what I find?
Mm-hmm.
So I think like kind of like what you're proposing, like with a lot of these detective characters, it kind of makes sense for them to be these kind of religious skeptics because that's just how they're built in order to find the truth, quote unquote.
I get it, but after a certain while, it starts to get repetitive.
I see that. And I feel like there are some that are religious or that do have a belief in God, but it's just harder for me to think of those characters. And I'm not the most well versed as far as the Sherlock Holmes and all the people of these archetypes, as far as like what they believe, but that just seems like a common thing.
Yeah. Okay, so performances themselves I thought was very good. Everybody's performance was good. Pacing. So first off, what did you like about the movie? Let's start.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I was gonna say I like you. Well, what you said about it being slow, I didn't mind that for this one because it takes a more serious topic, and a lot of the previous movies, especially the second one, I felt like was more comedic. But I feel like this one it needed to be more serious because of what it was sort of dealing with. The fact that Monsignor Wicks is such a controversial figure, and for people who'll see the movie, you'll see why. But a lot of people didn't like him. I'll say that. And for
this one,
yeah, Josh Brolin's character.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like him, and it made it very complicated for, the.
I think that's the point.
Yeah,
that's the point.
That is the point, and oftentimes you do have these controversial figures who, when they are, like, when they meet their demise, it's like, okay, how are
bro?
What?
Spoiler.
That's. I didn't say who. I didn't say what happened.
But you said who happened.
First of all, we know it's a murder mystery.
I know, but okay, let's.
Anybody who watched this movie should know that there was a murder.
I get that, but the mystery is also who gets offed. That's another part of it too. Yes,
Is it?
who done it? Yeah, yeah.
Is that a mystery for this one? I didn't think it was.
I mean, not now.
No, I'm saying for anybody that was.
It was, at least for me. Yeah, I didn't, because it could have been anybody.
Oh, I thought that was.
No.
I thought everybody knew that from
No.
the trailer.
Oh, I don't remember the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. But no, I didn't, or maybe I didn't watch the trailer. I'm not really crazy. Again, like I just now saw the second one. Remember?
Yeah.
So I'm not really, and you'll know these from did we do them? I talked about like mysteries, how I am with mysteries. I don't like to figure them out, like early on. And it's like sometimes, like definitely with the first one was right on the nose, kind of who did it. So it's like, I kind of wasn't interested in these kind of films just the way he did them. But yeah. So the second one I really liked, and this one kind of mixed bag.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, okay,
so,
never mind. We're back on track.
So, what I did like was, I did like the setup. I liked that we got enough time with Father Judd, because it made you care about him kind of on his own, like as a character, rather than just alongside of Benoit Blanc. It was like, okay, we want things to work out with him, work out for him, because he seems like a genuine person. He's flawed, he's flawed like everyone is, but he's just trying to do his best at the tasks that he's been
definitely had in the past.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the cleanest past either in the movie.
And he also comes from one church to another.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else did you like about it?
I liked I guess just the theme of the movie with it. I do enjoy movies where they do explore faith in a way that's not necessarily demeaning, but also not like I guess in a way that's more objective. And it's like, okay, I don't feel like this movie is preaching to me in one way or another,
or just bashing Christianity.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
Yeah. You come from both sides, and there's nothing wrong with coming from both sides if you just got to be unbiased when it comes to certain things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if there is a movie that is more like, oh, we're telling like a biblical story, or we're definitely pro Christ in a certain way. I'm not saying those movies are necessarily bad, but I think movies where
it can come off kind of preachy.
It can,
to a non-believer.
It can be,
and I don't see how is that reaching somebody if you're beating them over. That's not usually, that doesn't reach people like that.
Yeah.
Like you gotta see their story before kind of putting God into it. Like you gotta see where they're coming from and why they believe the things they believe, and then come from that standpoint.
Yeah, and I don't know, this may be controversial. I don't know how exactly I'm trying to say it, but even if like a movie can still be good, even if it comes to a different conclusion to yours about faith and spirituality.
Yeah.
Like you can still look at a movie objectively, like did it tell a good story, where the character is well written, even if it comes out a different conclusion, as long as it isn't like being outwardly disrespectful and I think portraying your faith in a way that's unrealistic or like cartoonish in a way.
Yeah.
I feel like you can still have disagreements and be like, that was still a good movie. But I did like this movie because even when I getting to like the earlier question I had like about non-believers making a Christian movie, it was more so framing it like in a way, because if I didn't know what Rian Johnson has said in interviews, I wouldn't know whether or not he was a believer. I wouldn't know for sure. I'll just say that
Mm-hmm.
because he had people in the movie that were very devout, and then he also had people in the movie who didn't believe, and they were both made in a way that was very dignifying for both people. So that's the thing I think I liked was that it didn't lean too heavily in
You can
one way.
definitely see that because you can't just not ever have gone to church or anything and be able to come up with characters like these. Because a lot of these are people you find in the church. You know, despite which denomination you are. So it's definitely clear that he grew up, with some kind of going to church or whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, there's just that after life, there's some sort of disconnect. So,
yeah,
me, what I liked, I thought the performances were great. The mystery was interesting, and I
yeah.
think just diving more into um, Blanc,
Mm-hmm.
Blanc, more to him. I think if there's more of these, I would like to know a little more about their backstory. That makes them instead of just them coming in, them solving a murder, and then them going home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of. If this guy is going to be in every single movie, we should know more about him and and kind of about kind of more about him and why he is the way he is. Just peel back the curtain a little bit more.
Mm.
So how about things
Okay.
you didn't like?
Things I didn't like. I will say certain scenes. Like there are a couple scenes like it was like a Bible study or some sort of scene that was like almost felt like an interrogation of like all of the characters. So um, I'm trying not to spoil too much, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes in these movies, there'll be a instance where it'll show a certain scene, but then it'll show it again later on from a different point of view, and then you understand it better.
I actually like that.
So I like that. I do like that. However, excuse me. Sometimes I can be confused
Yeah, yeah,
in the initial point where it's like
right.
you'll have these group of people and then it'll sort of like cut away and then it'll be like, wait, what happened? And
Mm-hmm.
then it'll kind of reveal what what was going on later on. I did like that I came to more of an understanding, but I guess the thing I don't like is sometimes certain scenes can be drawn out to the point where I'm like, okay, now I'm kind of lost focus and I've checked out
Yeah,
of it.
yeah, yeah.
So I feel like it always wraps up in a way where I'm like, okay, I get it now. But sometimes in the moment or in the moment earlier on, I'm like, okay, what is going on? Like, why is this
Mm-hmm.
moving in this way? There's probably some other stuff, but I don't have really too many complaints. Like even with it being slower, that didn't mind. I didn't mind that too much. I actually wish I could have seen this in the theater, even though I did enjoy seeing it at home. But I feel like I would have enjoyed it more in the theater.
So of course you already know about you know, the beginning. The
Mm-hmm.
beginning is kind of a little drawn out a little bit. Um, there's certain parts that are really spoilery, but I'll just say there's some theatrics that happen where it's like, okay, and then it's just kind of like very, very confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I gotta be vague. We'll talk about it in the spoiler section, but you know, yeah, there were certain parts where it's like, as execution, I may see where he was going with it, but it just kind of, went all over the place. That makes sense.
Yeah, kind of have to be a little vague so
Yeah.
to not spoil too much.
Yep. 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 Okay.
Um, So,
So yeah.
do you want to give the rating before we go into the spoil section, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah. Let's do the rating. Um, Give it a 3. 3.
Crazy, crazy.
Mm.
I gave it a 4. I gave it a 4.
Okay.
4 out of 5.
Cool.
It's out
So-
of 5, by the way.
Out of 5, yeah. So we're gonna get into the spoiler section a little bit, and it's also gonna dive into the other ones. So if you also haven't seen the other ones, yeah, probably watch those and then come back.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. And now we are talking about the spoiler section of Wake Up Dead Man. So how you want to do this?
So, yeah, man, it's interesting that people pointed this out multiple times. That well, we can talk about. I guess we can talk about the who was, who was off or who
Well,
did
you
it.
already spoiled that.
I didn't spoil it exactly.
But that is a thing that I was kind of confused about because they do. That's the thing about the theatrics and it was just a lot of just kind of like it kind of went left. It kind of went left.
Mm-hmm.
Like
The mechanics of how it was executed.
yeah, everything like that. Yeah. It didn't work for me. Like I said, I think I know what he was doing, but kind of reminds me of Drewski.
What you mean? Oh, you talking about the pastor?
No, Drewski.
No, I
It's
mean
not a pastor.
no. Or sorry, miss. I'm talking about the Monsignor. You're saying he reminded you of Drew?
No, well, what Drewski was kind of hitting at, and
For
that's
pastors.
yeah, and well, no, like more the theatrics,
Oh,
more the theatrics of like certain things, because he wasn't very theatrical when it was coming to his sermon, but
right.
but when it comes to like how everything was executed, the murder,
Oh,
was
I see what
very
you mean.
theatrical
Okay,
type thing.
I thought you meant like theatrical, like how he would act towards people outside the sermon, because he was a bully. That's the thing. Like, and that's why like a lot of people disliked him, so that there wasn't like one true suspect, because it's like he was kind of mean to everyone.
Yeah. But that was kind of trying to throw it off.
Yeah,
He was mean to everyone, so that means
everybody has a motive.
everybody has a motive. That's the point. Yeah. So yeah. And a lot of people had their reasonings for trying to suck up to him or this and that or whatever the case may be. Yeah. So how do you want to go with this?
I mean, we don't have to like go
Go
beat for
deep.
beat or
Yeah.
anything.
Right.
But I guess, how do you feel overall in terms of how he was portrayed, Monsignor Wicks, and then how you? I mean, you've kind of already talked about the mystery itself and just how
it didn't really bother me
Yeah.
about how he was portrayed.
okay.
There are people like that, and I'm sure he knows. Rian Johnson knows somebody. Usually, it's based off their own experiences that they, especially when it comes to religious stuff, it's mostly based off their own experience and what they've seen and who they.
Yeah.
All the caricatures and characters of people are like people, that that he probably knows.
Yeah, for sure.
So first off, there's actually a MacGuffin
There is.
So it's like a little jewel that some guy swallowed.
Mm-hmm.
And stop.
No, you don't know why I'm
Stop.
laughing. You don't know why.
Oh my gosh.
It's a TD Jakes thing.
Anyway.
Some of y'all will get it.
Yeah. Anywho.
Most of y'all won't though.
Oh. But yeah. Anywho. Yeah. But basically, get off them, and everybody's just basically trying to find this jewel and where it is, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it. And here's the problem. There was so much because there. When I mean execution, I mean there's a point where you think, like basically, I was confused about where they killed Wicks and what was really going on when it came to the part where, you know, they go to his grave, to the grave,
Yeah.
and then, you know, stuff happens. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like I thought he was dead, and then this, and then it's like who really killed him, and how did they really kill him, and it just was like
The
confusing.
mechanics do get convoluted. That's something that happens, I think, in all of these movies, but especially this one.
Especially this.
Like this one felt like it should have been more grounded. I guess it still was grounded. The
It
story
was.
was grounded, but the mystery I feel like wasn't. Like it was more like, okay, this person did this. This person has to pretend to be this person, and you know, dressed like this, and then there was there were This is the first one. Well, let me think. Where there was like multiple people involved as far as the whole thing. It was like 3 of them basically involved in the whole thing, and I do feel like that was a interesting twist because the whole time I'm like, okay, I think it's this person, but I also feel like this person would be very obvious as well.
Yep.
Because of how close they are.
Yep.
And it's like, well, then it did end up being this person, but it's like this person also is very theatrical and is very like dramatic in how they're acting. So it's like that also kind of made them a suspect to me in a way. So,
and then I forgot about a part where he's doing his little monologue. Blanc is doing his monologue. It went so long that even Mila Kunis's character was like, and I don't know if that was on purpose or did he just kind of improvise that and it was going on too long and they just kept it in. I don't know. But it dragged off like, I was like, so are you getting to the point? It drug on a little bit too long.
I feel that.
Like, they could have cut that short.
I feel it.
In my opinion. And that's another thing. I think there's a good movie in here. It's just...
You think they added some stuff they could have chiseled out? Maybe?
Yeah. Or just like trim some pieces. Just kind of carve this scene a little bit, carve that scene a little bit, carve that scene a little bit, and then
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would add. I mean, I don't disagree with really much of what you've said. I guess maybe because I felt like the setup was very strong. That
the what was very strong?
The setup and like the character exploration, I appreciated that part. So that the mystery itself, while I was like, okay, who did this and why, but I guess I was more interested in the character study over the actual mystery. Even though I know the mystery should probably be the most important thing in a mystery mystery movie, but I think because I
and
felt,
it wasn't like I wasn't concerned about the character study.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with that. But balance, as all things should be, as somebody once said.
What someone once said, yes.
Yeah. So I feel like just pacing. It's just like sometimes scenes can go on a little bit long winded.
Yeah.
And especially if you're doing a streaming movie,
Mm.
you want to kind of keep people to kind of keep because they can have
Got their phones in their hands.
that's what
watching.
I'm saying. Like with a streaming movie, you're multitasking.
That's
It is what it is because of our attention spans. So you got to keep our attention, like especially with a mystery movie. It's like, okay, did I miss something? But then when you watch it back, it's like, no, I got everything, but it's just like, or somebody could fall asleep, or somebody could take a bathroom break when they feel like it's not. It's you can't do that in a theater. You kind. That's why I never miss anything that I watch in the theater. If you know, I don't take bathroom breaks. I wait till the end. I don't get up unless there's an uncomfortable scene that I don't want to watch.
Yeah.
That's when I'll get up, Or if I already seen the movie and I'm watching it a second time, then it's like, okay, I can get up now. But, yeah, for the most part, I try to watch the whole thing without getting up. But with the streaming thing, you got to keep that attention.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he could have just, for a streaming movie, he could have chiseled it down a little bit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's all.
No, I feel that. I think the next ones, I would like the next ones to go to theaters. I know
So before we get that, so I just had a question. So, since these are character studies or whatever, what do you think the next topic's gonna be? Do you have the
I feel like I don't want to say this, but I feel like it's gonna. It may deal with. I mean, all these are political. It may deal directly with politics.
Oh.
Like it may be a politician or maybe a mayor, a governor, or something.
That makes sense.
Or maybe even.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Maybe it could be like dealing with immigration or something.
Oof.
That's a big thing, yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, who knows?
Oof.
Who knows what they'll do?
And what could be funny is if he does both of those in the next two.
Yeah.
One in one and one in the other. Yeah. Dang, it's hard to beat that one. It's hard to beat that one.
So what if somebody's like a immigration attorney or immigration official or something? I don't know who. That's the thing. There's a lot you can do with murder mysteries.
There is, and I think that's why there's a niche. Niche there.
There's an audience for them.
Yeah, there's
an
audience.
You have, and I think also we've kind of evolved to like murder podcasts are very, very popular. I think like the people that read murder mystery novels, like back in the day, their kids are probably the ones that are doing the podcast. The next generation.
That's wild. Yeah. I
they're
didn't think about that. That's very good.
They're doing the podcast. They're doing the documentaries. Yeah.
Very good. Wow.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
One thing though.
Yeah.
So what? To not go too long, but what makes something a Christian movie? Like, can a non-Christian even make a Christian movie in your opinion? Like, what would you say to that?
It's a good question. What would you say?
Flip it on me.
Yep, I flipped it. I saw
Hit the Uno reverse.
yeah, the Uno reverse.
Reverse.
Man.
Uh, it's hard to answer because I've asked this question several times over the last few years with the rise of Christian
Skywalker.
movie. We don't talk about that one. With the rise of Christian movies and Christian TV shows, like what even is a Christian movie? Because there's a lot in the faith based genre. Like that's a whole genre
That's a
unto
whole
itself.
nother Bible study right there.
It is indeed. But yeah, it's like okay, just because you call something faith based, does that mean it's Christian? And then like, what do you like? Are you trying? Obviously, that people that work within that genre are trying to reach a certain audience.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think that's the problem is with quote unquote, I'm not saying all, but mostly Christian movies are made for Christians.
mm,
So it's like you're leaving a whole other, you know, group of people out. That's kind of
mm,
what, and it feels like when you watch one of them, they're just beating you over the head with the Bible, and it comes to a sermon with movie actors.
mm-hmm.
You know, I I I, I and people don't want to be preached to or feel like they're in the sermon. So like, I think it's all about execution. I think it's just interesting that you get filmmakers like this who may have a. I think we talked about this. Who may have like they grew up in church,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't have. You gotta come up with some unbiasedness. Just because I'll flip it. Like even with a Christian movie, you still gotta to reach a certain demographic like other demographics. You gotta come from another. You gotta be unbiased. You gotta be coming from another angle.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm gonna put a plug in here. Okay. The Cage for Christ. Cage for Christ. I would suggest that anybody who has any kind of disagreements about faith, watch that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Good movie. Um, God's Not Dead is really good as well. We talked about that.
Yeah.
The first one. The other ones, but I think they had a slam dunk with the first one, and then they tried to, you know, you know, you know, have a franchise with it, which it's just like, nah, it should have just stuck with one. How many times do I have to say that over certain movies?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like when you come from both sides, people can see more of how you got to know your faith. That's why testimonies are really interesting as well, because you say, okay, this is where I come from before I actually gave my life to Christ, and then this is me after. You get the before and the after. For the most part, it's just like this is what God done, and mostly everybody in the kind of movie, yeah, you got your little villains and people who are terrible,
Mm-hmm.
but for the most part, it's getting you to the point to where, oh yeah, this person it feels more Tyler Perry is. I hate to do it to you, boy.
Not my boy.
I hate to do it to you, boy. But
Man.
Man.
Come on, man.
Man.
Yeah, man. That ain't even. Come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, I don't have the answer to the question that I asked.
Yeah.
Because
It's an interesting question.
Because
it's a good question.
Yeah, because I think like, can a movie be Christian? Because a lot of people have very, very strong stances on what is a Christian movie. And it's like, oh, it's gotta preach the gospel to be a Christian movie, or it's gotta
Be biblical.
yeah,
Bible.
actual.
Yeah.
It has to be like a Bible based story, or it has to in some
Yeah.
way preach the gospel or lead people
Yeah.
to Christ in a way. And I'm like, you can have the intent to do certain things in the movie, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to execute that in terms of the message. Like you can try to preach something and then kind of
That's
go
the
left.
problem too. Is they get to the point where why are we making this movie to preach to somebody? That's not why you make a movie. Like it's for entertainment. Yes, you can have a message with it, but the second that you try to get too preachy, it turns a lot of people off.
Yeah.
You know, same thing for making a political movie. You can get too political. Yeah, you can get too on that road, and then it'll turn some people off.
True.
That's why you got to come from both sides.
I will say though, and I guess you can apply this to both political movies and faith based or Christian movies.
Yep.
Like sometimes there may be that movie or whatever may be your one platform to get a certain message across. So sometimes it's like, hey, it's going to be a now or never type of thing to like, I'm going to make this statement, even if they know it's going to be controversial in a way. So sometimes, like, some movies, especially political ones, can be very controversial, and it ultimately will get people talking about a specific thing or highlight a certain thing. So it may accomplish that goal in the end. But I guess the big thing is you still want to tell the story. Like you should never sacrifice the story for
a narrative.
The narrative that you're trying to accomplish, or the agenda that you're trying to accomplish.
That's a bar. That's a bar. T-shirt.
So don't want to ramble on that too much, but I definitely want to just pose that question. And for anybody in the chat, let us know what your definition of a Christian
and
movie
can Christians make regular movies? I mean, some people don't think they should just only do Christian movies. Just let us know. And let us know kind of about your stories on religion and faith or whatever. Post it down in the comments.
Yeah.
And what do you think Rian Johnson should do with the next one? And we'll catch you on the next one.